Welcome back to our channel, Best to Watch. Today we are here to talk about the scenes acted so badly we can't forget them. But before you get started, subscribe to our channel to never miss any updates. So without any further delay, let's get started quickly. Guess what? Watching a good movie will definitely entertain you, but watching a bad movie or movie scene will offend you. What can be said about it? Well, we're here to see all those scenes and discuss them. Facts, facts, facts. The entertainment industry has provided us with a lot of great movies, scenes, and characters that we will never forget, but there are certain movies that have very scary elements and it feels like a big disappointment to see them. Better, let's get started. Number 1. Letter from the Ex-Lover scene, Tough Guys Don't Dance, 1987. To be precise, this is known for the most painful reaction scenes of all Ryan O'Neal films. The acting career of the actor disappeared with the release of Tough Guys Don't Dance, and we feel sad for Ryan O'Neal. In this scene, O'Neal is reading a letter from the character of his ex-girlfriend Isabella Rossellini. The letter tells him that his wife has a relationship with Rossellini's husband. After knowing this, O'Neal reacts to it. While standing at the edge on a cliff, oh man, oh God, is what you keep hearing him say over and over again. This sounds very annoying, but what makes it even scarier is the emotionless reading of the actor. This was so pathetic that later the film's screenwriter Norman Mailer apologized for maintaining the scene. Number 2. Meeting the roommate scene, Showgirls 1995. Almost every scene in Showgirls is embarrassing enough to be on our list. But at the summit is the fuss where Nomi meets her future roommate Molly for the first time. You can see Elizabeth Berkley cranking each line up to 11. She hits her nails powerfully and pours ketchup on the french fries. Precisely, it looks like it's doing something false and ridiculous. Later, Molly asks about her past whereabouts of fleas, and Berkley loses her temper to throw her french fries into the air. Then she says different places. This scene sure is disgracefully poor. Number 3. The Burnt Doll scene, The Wicker Man, 2006. In this movie, Nicolas Cage plays the character of a cop looking for his missing daughter. In the process, he cross-examines a group of new pagans and discovers a burnt doll that the actor believes belongs to his daughter. So while approaching the woman on the island, Cage asks, "How did it get burned?" This particular line became so overacted and repetitive that as for the reply, the woman shouts, "I don't know." It seems like she deliberately wants him to shut up for a long time. Nicolas Cage's performance at The Wicker Man is very generally bad. Even those who have never seen a movie can imitate the terrible lines featured in the scene. Number 4. The Confession in the Rain scene, Four Weddings and a Funeral, 1994. Andie MacDowell offered one of her most lofty performances in the 1994 Four Weddings and Funerals. A scene featuring resolute and horrifying surf riding destroys most of the movies that could have been a decent movie. At the end of the movie, as it is raining, the actor Hugh Grant conveys the classic and vaguely sentimental "It was you all along" speeches to MacDowell. As the scene proceeds, his dialogue reads, "It wasn't the person standing next to me in the veil, it's the person standing next to me now in the rain." To this, MacDowell answers saying the line, "Is it still raining? I hadn't noticed," with a very dull tone and flat emotion. It feels like the actress had worked heartlessly. She could not excel to the demand of the role as she presented in movies like Sex, Lies, and Videotape. Number 5. The Death Scene, The Godfather Part 3, 1990. In The Godfather Part 3, Sofia Coppola disappointed the audience with a completely off performance. The actress, directed by her father herself, was terrible in almost every scene she was in. Above all, her death scene falls into the worst category. It was very unattractive and hard to see her kneeling down the stairs. This horrifying sight of her death was very difficult to digest as it looked like a tree falling into the forest. From the action to the event that occurs, it is suspicious. This was a badly performed and ill-directed scene. Number 6. The OMG scene, Trolls 2, 1990. Actor Darren Ewing couldn't give justice in his performance in this movie. Fundamentally, said watch a movie like a troll and you'll expect award-winning performances. Simply to disappoint you, you will rather be forced to witness him performing very poorly. Ewing's character Arnold is a nerdy teenage character who has played watchers with his pathetic presentations. His most evaded scene was when Arnold realized that he could be eaten alive by a troll that had already been stabbed with a spear. Ugh. And when he picks up a chick in the woods and turns into a plant as he shouts, "They're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me." This looks unfulfilling, and to add to it, he keeps screaming pitifully, "Oh my god." The delivery of this dialogue reflects pretty disastrously. In case, the overall purpose of this scene is unconvincing. This performance failure may also be the reason why Ewing had to wait another 16 years for his next acting break. Number 7. Trick Scene, Twilight 2008. Almost all of this cast messed up the climax scene set in the ballet studio, but standing on all of the list is the worst performing Kristen Stewart. She adds to it her awkward behavior and her excessive lip biting. James, played by Cam Gigadent, was a boring wanderer looking for a pest-eating eater, while finding Karen's circle and her protected humans. From now on, he turns to Bella, played by Stewart, who has just been fooled by the murder-happy Chase vampire house. James plays an old tape that Bella's mom is obsessed with falling into the place long ago. Now the actress will buy his nonsense, falls for his tricks, and hit himself with his tooth clutch to land. Just then, her handsome vampire boyfriend, Edward Cullen, played by Robert Pattinson, arrives to save her, but James plays a twig snap game on her feet and poisons her hand. You don't have to chew. According to Meyer's book, the pain should look pleasing, but Stewart's unpleasant moans and frowns make her bites look funny and harmless. Performance does not give justice to the written scene. The scene is exasperated by sniffing, growling, and rolling her eyes when Gigadent first encounters Bella in the field. Number 8. The Secret Box, 7, 1995. Looking at this movie, you can see that Brad Pitt seems to be ridiculing the powerful scenes of the movie. Apparently, the actor is ashamed of the emotional element of the movie. Pitt played the character of Detective Mills in the movie. He worked with legendary directors David Fincher, Kevin Spacey, and Morgan Freeman, who have always performed first-class performances. At the climax of a plan inspired by John Doe's Deadly Sin, Spacey's killer character turns a detective duo into the desert with something that seems to be the head of Mills' pregnant wife Tracy, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. I will lead you to the package. Freeman, as Somerset, first sees it and gives it a rather obedient look of unpleasant reality. But when Pitt sees it, he overdoes it with a lying scream and flying around like a clown. He completely kills the emotional depth of the sad situation. This is a scene proper to dismantle the flow of the story and reduces the weight of emotions. Number 9. The Monologue of Transylvanian Adventures, Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. Keanu Reeves was quite embarrassed by his performance in the film. From the delivery of the conversation to the projection, Reeves' English accent was so bad that he was distracted by Gary Oldman's ass wig saying something. More specifically, Reeves' character Jonathan Harker begins to realize that the Count is bad news and provides a monologue summary of Transylvania's adventures. "I've seen many strange things already, bloody wolves chasing me through Blue Inferno," he said. Whatever he said sounded pretty hostile while he had issues with his English accent. His director Francis Ford Coppola was reported to have said Reeves was a hard time serving with English accents. It was hard for him because he works so hard. The director further stated that the real problem is that the actor always wants to do it perfectly. That's why the results are so exaggerated. Number 10. The Pleading of the Deceived Scene, The Room, 2003. This room is so poorly made that it's called Citizen Kane of the bad movies, so you can call it straight and pretty tearfully. The script, written, produced, and directed by Tommy Wiseau, is badly structured and the film is not well crafted. Seriously, you just go to the random scenes of the movie and you'll experience painful moments due to terrible performance, direction, and structure. The film is also published as an expression of Hollywood's superficial nature. Despite the many pathetic scenes in the film, at the top of our list is when deceived Johnny confronts his fiancée by terribly pleading, why Lisa, please talk to me, please. You are tearing me apart, Lisa." The actor reportedly claims to have been inspired by James Dean, who spit out the same lines in the movie Rebel Without a Cause. However, this turned out to be a funny meme-like piece, not some high-impact emotional soap opera. This was all about it, and on that note, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit like and subscribe to our channel Best to Watch. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.